Why saving money is making you poor? Your family lied to you. Your bank is lying to you. And that be responsible, save your money instinct you've trusted your whole life, it might be betraying you right now. If you're proud of the money sitting in your savings account, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're actually waking up a little poorer every single morning. For decades, we were told, put money aside, save, stay safe. But in 2026, that advice is like carrying a heavy anchor on a sinking ship. Today, we're going to talk about how that savings account you're so proud of has quietly turned into a thief, and why the world's wealthiest people, from Robert Kiyosaki to Warren Buffett, keep saying cash is trash. If you're ready, it's time to face some uncomfortable financial truths. So why did saving money used to work? And why doesn't it anymore? The answer is hiding in 1971. Before that year, every dollar in your pocket was backed by something physical: gold. Money was essentially a certificate of value. But one night, President Nixon severed that link, and the world shifted to what's called a fiat currency system. Fiat comes from Latin. It means let it be so. In other words, money is valuable simply because governments say it is. There's no gold behind it, just a printing press. And whenever there's a crisis or the economy needs a boost, central banks can print as much money as they want. So ask yourself, the more paper that floods the market, what happens to the value of the single dollar in your pocket? It dilutes, it melts, it disappears. You're trading your limited, irreplaceable time for a piece of paper that can be printed in unlimited quantities. That's a battle you simply cannot win. Now, many of you might be thinking, but my money earns interest at the bank. The numbers keep going up. And that's exactly where the biggest illusion begins. Let's do the painful math together. Say your bank offers you 3.7% annual interest. Sounds decent, right? But wait. First, the government takes its cut from that interest income. Then, before the remaining net return even reaches your pocket, the real inflation monster is already waiting at the door. If inflation is running at 2.7% and your after-tax return sits at 2.5%, the math tells you this: your balance grew numerically, but your actual purchasing power dropped by 0.11%. You might have $10,000 in the bank, but that $10,000 can no longer buy the same amount of groceries, the same tank of gas it could last year. Inflation is essentially a silent penalty for choosing to delay spending. Why has Robert Kiyosaki, the world's most famous personal finance author, been shouting savers are losers for years? Because he understands how the system actually works. When you deposit your money at a bank, the bank takes it and lends it to investors like Kiyosaki. They use your money to buy real estate, build businesses, and grow wealthy. While they create value using debt, you watch your carefully saved money melt away against inflation. Ray Dalio, the legendary hedge fund manager, echoes the same idea. Cash is trash. Now, this doesn't mean you should never hold any cash. According to Dalio, cash is simply an option, something you hold to strike when the right opportunity appears. If money is just sitting in a bank account doing nothing, it's a depreciating asset. For a smart investor, cash is a weapon used to buy cheap assets during a falling market, not a trophy to be collected and admired. So what should you do instead? Warren Buffett shows us the way. The only real protection against inflation is owning assets with pricing power. Companies like Coca-Cola can raise their prices when costs go up, and people keep buying anyway. Or more importantly, invest in yourself. If you become the best surgeon in your city, no matter how much the currency loses value, you can always charge current market rates for your expertise. Have you ever heard of opportunity cost? Say you have $20,000. If you keep it in the bank, in 5 years, you might have $23,000. But if you had put that same money into an index fund like the S&P 500, historical data suggests you could have over $44,000. Just by choosing to play it safe, you effectively threw away $21,000. This is where the rule of 72 comes in. To double your money in a savings account, you'd need to wait 72 years. With the right investment, that timeline drops to just 7 years. Time is the one asset you cannot buy back. Stop wasting it earning 1% at a bank. There's also a psychological side to this. An obsession with saving can trap you in a scarcity mindset. Being frugal is smart. It means you're focused on the value you get for every dollar you spend. But being cheap is dangerous. If you're stealing from your own health, your education, or your time just to watch a number grow on a screen, you're actively sabotaging your future wealth. Remember, the most expensive thing in the world is often the cheap option you chose because of the cost it creates down the road. So here's the bottom line. Yes, keep 3 to 6 months of living expenses in cash. That's your financial airbag. Don't touch it. But every dollar beyond that is currently being eaten alive by inflation. Stop treating money as the destination. Money is a tool you use to build a freer, higher quality life. Today, don't look at your bank balance. Look at your portfolio. Look at yourself. The system doesn't reward the people who save. It rewards the people who move money. Which side are you going to be on? If this video shifted your perspective even slightly, make sure to hit like and subscribe, because in the next video, we're going to cover exactly how to protect that melting cash. See you there.